Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So July deals are upon us. July the 4th or summer sale or Mr. Sinister super mega special extravaganza or whatever else is going to be called this year. So today is the day and let's see and predict what we can expect, or what I think I can expect. Now, I have stopped making the exact predictions for each bundles and stuff like that because Kabam has been extremely inconsistent. In past, they kind of progressively increased the value with each upcoming big sale, like from the last spring cleaning, and then from the last July 4th and Cyber Weekend, we could kind of extrapolate exactly what we could expect. But Kabam is trying to give more identity to each one of these sales. Kabam has split spring cleaning effectively in two. Last time around was spring cleaning and then Omega Days. Cyber Weekend is kind of a bit different from July 4th recently. And even though obviously they do serve as a good indicator at where game economy is, from what I gather is that Kabam plan on making July sales the single biggest day of sales, aside from the gifting event itself, of course, or Great Banquet event, or whatever else they're trying to rebrand it now. So, last several sales have been quite modest in virtually every single term compared to previous July the 4th. July the 4th, 1 year ago exactly, was the single biggest economy shakeup that we had ever seen in this game. It was absolutely ridiculous in terms of endgame value. In one single day, you could purchase more progress that you could acquire and purchase in the previous 8 years of playing this game. Now, I do hope that it does not return. I hope we do not see the same thing again, where effectively you can have more rank 3 7 stars than you could have earned and purchased up until today. But there is a likelihood of that happening as well, because Kabam has stated that these sales will be of big, massive value. And that is the biggest factor here. Whether July 4 sales will stick to the big sales days being relatively modest compared to the amount of value that we can acquire from actually doing the content, or Kabam has abandoned that idea. Who knows? We'll see. I do have a feeling that this will, however, represent, well, maybe not as bad of a repeat from last year, but not far off. Kabam themselves, again, have stated that this is going to be like a massive sales day. So keep in mind that web store bundles have started to affect the in-game bundle limit, so total spend should not be as high as it was for Cyber Weekend, except for the fact that Kabam has already stated that there will be 8 tiers of unit offers, effectively 2 tiers of 4. So my unit spend expectation, or Kabam's unit spend expectation, likely is going to be set at the 36k total, which is something in line to what they are pushing for recently in the previous events as well. In Omega Days it was 30k units something, and you know, I do expect it to be 2 sets of 18k units required in order to acquire all of the unit deals. So we know that unit offers will be in 2 sets of 4, and these unit offers will kind of go on a loop from 1 to 4, except that 4 and 8 will be different. So the unit offers 1 to 3 and 5 to 7 will effectively be exactly the same, probably offering you a choice of more specific, rank up materials or shard acquisition or Titan shards or something. And then we're gonna get 4 and 8. It is past due when we see class and generic 7-star gems, which is exactly what I think is going to be in those bundles 4 and 8. I do think that once you get to bundle 4, you will get a chance to obtain a random 7-star gem. And then if you go around the second time, there will be a generic gem for you instead. Would be wrong, but I do think that that is exactly where Kabam is going to put these 7-star awakening gems. And a big factor of that is also going to be that there is nowhere else where they can put them, because they will not put awakening gems in Odin's, therefore giving access to 4 awakening gems to anybody who's willing to spend $400. That will simply just not be the case. I do think we are primed to see significant amounts of 7-star 6 stones enough to max out 1 to 2 7-stars likely. I do expect to see 2 to 400 7-star 6 stones in these sales scattered across the board in between unit offers and cash offers, of course, because Kabam has started to incorporate more 7-star 6 stones in the reward structures of Eternity of Pain or Winter of Woe or Spring of Suffering or however it is called right now, and also in some saga rewards, in some specific dedicated offers for them, so they're not new to the game anymore. And this probably will be the first big sale where we do see significant amounts of them. Because in Titan Nexus in the game files, and one thing that is characteristic to a lot of these sales is that Kabam often debuts new crystals here, or puts some special 7-star or 6-star crystals for sale. Eventually, they started selling the Abyss Nexus crystals, for instance, which was a big deal, big crystal to put in sales. This is where Nexus crystals in general started to appear. And this, I think, will be no exception. I do think we are going to see Titan Nexus crystals for the first time available to us on sale. Now, granted, Titan crystals do not seem anywhere near as appealing as they did half a year ago, let's say, due to the changes in the crystal pool, but that is still quite a big deal because it gives you pretty much the best possible chance of any crystal we have had to kind of target a specific champion or hunt for a specific champion that's in them. So I'm sure that a lot of people will find tremendous value and success in those crystals. Additionally, we know that 7-star Weapon X has been made the solo objective or solo event champion for this event. And as I mentioned before, I do expect total cost of that effectively to be 36k units. In other words, if you spend 36k units, you will find yourself with a guaranteed 7-star Weapon X. That is the exact cost I expect Kabam to put it on that, and we'll see whether I'm wrong or not. I do think we are likely to see potential for 5 to 6 new rank 3 7-stars. Could be more, but I hope it's not. But 5 to 6 already would make a massive impact on the game to anybody effectively who goes big in these sales. That I think would also be kind of reasonable considering that spring cleaning only awarded like 2, and that was unexpectedly low, to be honest. But again, time has moved. Rank 3s have become slightly more available. And again, Kabam has kind of put an emphasis on July deals to be the rank up material deals for the most part, and massive value. And again, I do think this time around we will see the 5-6. As well as a whole lot of 1 to 2, 4 to 5 gems and dusts for like 4 to 6 ascensions as well. Because the tier 2 primordial dusts are still extremely sought after, because a lot of champions are not available as 7-stars. A lot of champions do require ascensions, not to mention that acquiring the brandest, latest, and newest champions is much easier as 6-stars than it is with 7-stars. And these ascensions kind of help those champions remain viable. Now, this will... Again, I already talked about Stick Stones and Awakening Gems. And then we need to discuss Relic stuff is, again, in my opinion, set to return with the Relic rank up gems and shards and all that other stuff in separate offers for cash. I think Kabam has learned their lesson that most people, vast majority of people, are not really willing or ready to spend a ton of money on relics and do not like to see mixed in with the champion items. All that crossed off. This is going to be interesting. I'll definitely be going live and reacting to these deals in real time. I'll be trying to figure out what are the best value bundles. I'll be trying to take a look at them in their entirety. And yeah, before anything else, I do want to remind you guys, do not spend the money that you do not have. Do not make in real life sacrifices for the game. Be very cautious in how and why you spend money. I know a lot of people have become a lot more reluctant to spend money in game, and there's still always going to be the FOMO, fear of missing out. So whatever you do, keep in mind that everything in this game depreciates. You always pay massive premium to get stuff early. And then that stuff becomes significantly less valuable within a year. If you take a look at last year's July sales, which were absolutely game-breaking at the time, which were the most ridiculous and generous deals that we had seen to date, the single most economy-shattering sales day in the history of MCOC. 1 year down the line, you wouldn't find it impressive. You wouldn't want to spend tons of money on it. And regardless of what happens later today, the same thing is going to happen to these things. As long as this game lasts, it's going to keep moving forward. And there's only a couple of items or a couple of in-game resources that do not depreciate in value over time for most part. That's units or bottle chips, and that is, masteries or mastery cores. And that's just about it. All the 6 stones, all the champions at whatever rarity become significantly less important. How much money we have spent on specific 5 stars some years ago. And now those 5 stars are absolutely irrelevant. How much money we spent on specific 6 stars, and now you can get them really easily for free. How much money we spent to get our first 7-star rank 3, and now you can get it in a couple of months just by playing the game for free. And that progression's always going to carry on. So be careful. All that said, let me know what you guys think we are going to see in these deals. Let me know. Are you going to be spending yourself? And that's it for now. I'm going to catch you guys soon. Bye-bye. Hello there, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all